Hey, Cardinals fans, welcome to the Redbird Rundown. I'm Andy, joined with Matt and Jonathan for another live in-person pod. And in this episode, we're going to review the game since our last recording, discuss who we believe should be batting fourth, Masyn Winn's ceiling, and highlight what to watch for in next week's action. But first, I just got back, and unfortunately, these gentlemen have to sit right next to me, and I reek of smoke right now because I just got back for an end of the year. If you follow us, Matt and I are teachers. My end of the year was this past Friday. So I went on vacation with my family to Shawnee National Forest, to the Garden of the Gods, did a little tent camping. And, gentlemen, I saw something there.
Okay, hold on. We need tent camping.
I went tent
you're
camping.
sleeping on the ground.
No, the kids were.
Okay, well, this is fine.
I bought a cot and with an air mattress. And so I elevated tent camping, I guess, in that case. But yes, we definitely saw something that I have never seen growing up in Southern Illinois. And Matt, I mentioned it to Matt, and he and I both were shocked. I saw a rattlesnake and on one of the trails, and it shocked me because I just didn't expect it. And number two, I definitely would have been bitten had I not been where I was at, because I did not see it and I had already passed it. So that was a wild.
No, I've never seen in my life a rattlesnake anywhere near here.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Just kept like in captivity. Like I think in like the St. Louis
Well,
Zoo.
sure. But never like just out and about. And I had to zoom in when you sent this picture.
Yeah.
I was like, he says rattlesnake. I'm like, let me see the back of it. Like I'm some kind of
Steve-O and
expert.
Clarky.
Like let's see the rattle.
Let's get down there and these naturally vomit.
It was there.
Yeah.
It was that you didn't hear anything because I think they do that when they're ready to mess somebody up.
No, it was slowly getting away from me. It was kind of like we were sharing the trail as like a horse / hiker path, and it was a section that was well worn, and so we were up on berms of the path to get out of the mud, and it was down in the middle of it and was slowly just slithering away. Diamond shaped head and everything.
Poisonous, right? That's
for sure. Okay. Did this have more of like a Randy Johnson feel or like a Corbin Carroll kind of situation? Was it?
Well, I texted my wife's side of the family, and they said that one of my brother-in-law, was like, is this like a situation? How many guys do you think it takes down one rattlesnake? Invoking the 100 men versus a gorilla debate. I think just one rock. I think one guy with one rock.
Yeah, I could take a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this: it will die.
Yes.
I may also 2 hours later, but it's gonna die.
It's gonna die.
Yeah.
I think it also depends like how big are your shoes, because you could get like a pretty good like head stomp if you ran at it.
Curb stomped it.
Yeah.
I think if I had some knee-length boots on, I feel
rock.
Pretty good about my chances.
Just a rock.
Yeah.
That's
all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. One rock, throw it, kill it, done. But it was really it stunned me. Obviously, I had to flag my kids down and tell them to stop. But it did. It literally took my brain a second to process what that was, and that I was seeing it. It was wild. It was the talk of what every single person that I passed on that trail. I was like, "Hey, there's rattlesnake up there."
PSA to any snake lovers out there, but I got to tell a follow-up story. So I don't know if you guys were on one of these trips or not. We did some youth group stuff through the church we were going to at the time, and we found a snake that was already dead. And we did one of those things where we took the church van and we put the snake's body like directly behind the wheel of the church van. And I got in the van. Were you there?
No.
Okay. I got in the van and put it in reverse, and we just like slowly backed over the snake, and just like all the guts squeezed in until it just went right out the back. So it was already dead, but it like unzipped and all the guts came out of the back of the snake. But like, who cares? Snakes, get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I thought another thought that crossed my mind for the rattlesnake was, if I killed it, how wild would it be just like come around draped with a rattlesnake around?
Oh, you would have to have that rattle on the pod right now.
Yeah.
It would just, that could be our different segment. Like we're switching to Masyn Winn.
Yeah. Well, speaking of switching up gears, the Cardinals still have not. They are still on a hot streak. They went 4-1 since the last time we recorded. And Matt, let's get your vibe check first. How are we still feeling about this?
World Series or bust. Like, that's too far. And we have joked about this a few times since a couple podcasts ago. We were all like, yeah, it's probably a 500 team.
Mm-hmm.
And they have had the best record in baseball since the end of April, beginning of May. So I don't know we're going to talk about a couple of keys for like future success today. But right now, I'm just enjoying the crap out of this, and I'm not questioning things. I'm just like locked in right here and not thinking about the future for once, because this is super fun.
It is.
Yep. Mine is I can't believe it. Really, honestly. I mean, I was just looking at Michaelis's ERA, and it's 3.77. I could tell you
about the same number of seconds that Andy ran away from that rattlesnake.
Yeah, I didn't run.
Nobody had Michaelis being effective.
No.
I mean, and I don't want to get too far into it, but one bad start. I mean, just think about this. Michaelis is a sub-4 ERA. I just can't believe it. I can't believe we're continuing.
World Series or bust.
I can't.
My vibe check is they better do this tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because the extended family, we're taking my kids to their very first Cardinals game. Hopefully, if it doesn't get rained out. So if you're gonna be there on Monday, shout out to you. We'll be out there somewhere. But I just hope that we don't get to go watch them and
lose 1-0.
Lay an egg.
Yeah.
Well, especially with how the offense has been going. So just for the listener, just a recap of the series of where we've been. So the Phillies series, which was really telling. Honestly, I was very interested in how we played the Phillies, because it's one thing to sweep those Pirates, but it's another to face the Mets and the Phillies. And what do we do there? We won another series just like we did against the Mets. We went 2-1 against them. So game one, Libby throws 5.1 innings of 2-run ball. So thank God for Ivan Herrera and Masyn Winn right now. They're timely home runs, man. And Leahy, of course, with Hell's Bells came out to close it for a 3-2 win to make it 9 in a row. Game two was a tough one, especially because that was the first of the first game of the doubleheader. Mm-hmm. And so, listener, if you will know that the second game we win 14-7. It's one of the, I hate that when that happens, when doubleheaders do that, because we lost 2-1. And then the next game we win 14-7. It's just like you want to shoulda, woulda, coulda. Mm-hmm. Some of those runs over to the first first game.
That first game though, Jesus Luzardo looked incredible. I know he was a pickup for them over the winter from the Marlins, and he was just in obscurity down there in Miami, but he looked incredible. I just was shocked by him, really.
Major props on that game too, because it's a getaway day, or was supposed to have been. So they got to play a nightcap. Yeah. They go down 5-1, and I wasn't watching at the time, but I just looked at my phone. I was like, it was just one of those things mentally you file away, like, okay, this is a schedule loss. We're out of here.
Yeah.
And they claw back, and I keep getting these notifications. I'm like, my God, the attack dogs were out. Won by a touchdown.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. It was 14-7. Looked like a football score. Sonny was not great, but the offense was better and pulled us out of that.
Yeah, he just home runs came back to get him on that one, and that's going to happen from time to time with
especially
him.
Against the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, Schwarber was just, you could see the drool from his mouth when he was walking up there.
And Aaron Judge, I think, are tied for the
We're going to get Sonny tomorrow night. We'll see if it's one of those starts where he has to go in and get naked in the clubhouse and come back out.
We're facing the Tigers. That's a MLB best series right now, or record right now, is the Tigers. So the Royals series, another good team, right? They're not, F tier. They're a good team. So Palante throws a solid 7 innings with no walks. Them walks aren't killing him. With Ivan Herrera again, just bless this man. I texted the group. This could be, if he continues to hit Aaron Judge level hits, he is the capital G guy. We talked about that last week. I think if he keeps producing, how could he not be? It's ridiculous what he's hitting.
All right, guys, I'm gonna whisper a name. Ready?
Yeah.
Albert Pujols.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Right?
Was that too far?
No. That's how he started. That's how he started, right? I mean, this is ridiculous. This dude's in like 413. Like, it's ridiculous what this guy is doing.
And it's consistently happening. There's not a game I've seen so far where it looks like he's really too far behind anything. Like, you can name any of these hitters and they have lulls. Donovan's come down, 20th of a point here. He's kind of lulling, but Herrera, every game, it's he's going to come through.
He's just hitting a missile somewhere.
And he does.
Yeah.
He does.
I mean, it could be too early to say that name. Because,
it's way too early to say that
You
name.
mean a Hall of Famer?
I mean, sure.
The best right-handed hitter of all time.
Yeah.
But at some point, someone, had there been podcasts like this, would have, that's how
said that at that moment.
That's what how he started. It was ridiculous how he started. And here he is, and Ivan it's ridiculous what he's doing. So we win 10-3 in the first game of that series. Michaelis in game 2 continues to do things that we didn't expect.
Be stupendous.
I don't know what he's doing.
Just 6 shutout innings.
X-Man, I don't know.
Walker summons everything that he has to give us a 1-0 win. Right? He didn't.
No, you know what? I watched that pitch. He didn't even really hardly square it up. The guy is just an ox. And I'm telling you, if it ever clicks for him, I saw him say something after the game that he's been working with the guru. The team's not calling him that, but we're working on it. It'll percolate into the culture.
He is.
Yes. The guru's working on him about softening his hands. And so I just think Walker is just in constant adjustment mode. And I think I keep seeing people say, like, well, he's getting towards the end of his runway. We don't need to do that. Let him keep adjusting, because if it ever pops, I mean, my God, this is already like a top 8 offense. We could be like one of the best offenses in baseball, period.
100%. Yeah. Let him figure out at this level too. I've seen some grumblings of like, what if he needs a reset or figured out in AAA? What? No. The pitching in the MLB is not like AAA. He needs to learn it now, and if he can.
Well, here's the crazy thing. Our offense is good enough to drag him along.
And Gorman's carcass.
Oh, Gorman.
Yeah.
So currently they're playing game 3 of the series. Just a few minutes ago, they were tied 1-1. So let's go to I saw something on Reddit the other day that I want to turn our focus to of batting fourth. People were saying the post was about why are people not screaming for Ollie's head, or where did that go? Basically,
they are.
And people were back and forth inside the Cardinals subreddit, and people were like, well, winning salt, like kind of what we said before. Winning, if you're winning, you're not going to call for anybody's head. But they were talking about how they appreciated Ollie's lineup changes, like putting Newt first. They appreciate some things. We're going to go a step further and say that we would like to see a change made in the 4-hole for the Cardinals offense. Right now, it is default and de facto Nolan Arenado. And we would like to submit maybe some candidates of who we would like to see bat fourth. Maybe Ollie to be brave enough to break from that quote unquote tradition of, well, it's Nolan on fourth.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you got somebody that.
I mean, I think most of our answers it should just be Ivan, because we've talked about it the last couple times. He actually slugs. I mean, look at him. I mean, he actually did. So when you think of like the quintessential 4-hitter, you think of home runs, I think, right? Well, Ivan's like the guy who hits home runs on our team most consistently. Newt does too.
Yeah.
But Newt needs
Wilson
to be posted.
Well,
that's true. Newt needs to be posted in the first position. I was thinking about this from the opposite direction. So if Nolan's not going to bat fourth, does he just drop down to 6th or 7th? Like, I guess he is still a high contact hitter. So the traditional sense would be you need to have somebody who can hit home runs. But we have been successful with him just continuing to keep the line moving, because he is pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, Wilson, I think, has been batting 5th and Ivan's batting 6th, and it has worked out so far to keep pushing that along. So I feel like it should be Ivan. That's like the shoe-in answer just because of what he's been showing us. And
I think the answer to your question of where does Nolan go if he's out of the fourth is you put him, apparently, for Ollie's lineup, you put him in 8 or 9 to catch him on fire. Because that's where people go, not to punish someone, but they go to where a lot of offense is generated inside the Cardinals lineup.
I'm curious what you think, Max. I have a follow-up question on this.
Well, I'm gonna praise Arenado before we bury him.
Yeah, sure.
Because, at 34 years old, this is now his 3rd offensive season in a row. Or like in 23, he's got a 106 weighted runs created plus. 24, he's got a 102. Right now, he's at a 104. So this is 3 years in a row where he's been a league average hitter, marginally better than that. But he's 34 years old. There is an age curve. He is a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I think we should probably talk more about this, but I do think that matters some in the clubhouse with the other guys, seeing how you treat these mammoth names in the organization.
Yeah.
So it's not, I think that the patron saint of this podcast is Victor Scott, but if we had a secondary one, it would be to please trade Nolan. But I do want to praise him. He has been good. He's got 1.2 WAR. His defense has been good.
Yeah.
To Jonathan's point, he's got good contact. His on base is like 335.
Yeah.
So it's just not 4-hitter material.
Yeah.
And if he's down in the 6th hole or the 7th hole, there's just not that pressure to produce the slug that Nolan's not giving anymore. So I think he's been a valuable member of the team, and we can't talk. We don't know what it's like behind the scenes and what kind of leadership he may be giving. So I don't want to totally bury Nolan. I think he's been effective, but not 4-hole hitter effective.
Well, and just to give a point, I think it was the first game of the Royals series where I texted you guys where Nolan hit a weak pop out somewhere with people, runners in scoring position, and the next inning, Ivan comes up and hits one out. And that I think it was game one.
It was the Phillies because it was against that Luzardo game.
Okay.
And that's where it would have been awesome if we could have just switched that out and have done that.
That's a woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we're talking about. Like that is a measurable moment where I'm not saying if Ivan is coming up fourth that the stars still align and hits a bomb.
This is real butterfly effect stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not
sliding doors.
Tit for tat. But that kind of illustrates, I think, the pitch that we're making. That boy, Nolan is not producing those home runs, and Ivan comes up and literally does the thing that with no one on because he's the first one up because Nolan hits a weak pop out. I think he was batting fifth that game.
Yeah. I mean, home runs are the easiest offense. Yep. Right. They're immediate runs. You don't have to do much. That's what I wonder though, because we're successful right now. These guys are continuing to think about from just the top three, like Newt, Winn has been, extremely good.
Yes.
Donnie, these guys are running into power. But to what you guys are saying is if you had that fourth bopper, if you had like Schwarber, think about Schwarber. Yeah. We just saw him for 3 games, right? When he comes up, you think it's either a home run or a walk. Not even a strikeout. Like I just assume he's going to walk because his on-base percentage is insane. But if you had that in that 4-hole, you get 2-3 runs in one swing, as opposed to these, knocks that he has to keep pushing the line forward, which hasn't been bad. Look how successful we've been.
Yeah, I was going to say our offense, even without the prototypical 4-bopper, that speaks to the resiliency of this like pack of attack dogs that we have.
It does.
I think we're 8th in the MLB in runs and like 3rd or 4th in the NL in runs per game with a singles hitter in the 4-hole, missing some of these RBI opportunities.
Do you think that it has cost us wins in him batting fourth? That's what I was going to try to ultimately drive to, is that
I would submit the Phillies game too.
That game, if Ivan's there, maybe he does do what he did 1 inning later.
Yep. I would submit that.
Probably so. And I think especially maybe not 40 games in, but 162 games in, if he keeps up this level of performance, just the math tells you you get more slug in that spot and you're going to score more runs. Plus, that person is going to have more at bats than wherever they're at now, because presumably they'd be coming up the lineup.
Yeah. So I said Ivan would be is that the consensus who you think should bat fourth? Is that what you think, Andy?
I could also make a case for maybe Willie. He's got a little pop, but I think unless the bubble pops for
the wheels just fall totally off,
which is totally possible, complete normalization of what he's doing. But how he's hitting right now, he's the most terrifying against pitchers. Yeah. Like if you're a pitcher right now and you're following what the Cardinals lineup is, you've got to know. And then protect Ivan with either Nolan or Wilson. I think that would be my lineup right now.
What do you think for fourth?
I think we should bat Willie fourth.
You think?
I think you guys are right about Ivan. I'm not sure, and I don't know how he responds to this kind of stuff. I'm not sure we should put that level of pressure on him yet. Even this year, his insane production, he's had much fewer at bats than everybody else because of the nature of his injury and his season so far. Willie is a long-time proven big league hitter.
He's a pro,
and he's rocking like a 193 wins WRC plus in May after that horrendous start to the season. If you just go look at his triple slash lines now, you're like, that's pretty good. But what that means is after that 0 for 40 that he had with 25 strikeout, he has been on fire.
He has.
And so to me, it's just like there's that veteran respect.
Sure.
He's done it. We know he can make the adjustment. I think that'll be the next step for Ivan. Pitchers are now going to adjust. I think they're going to start pitching him like he's dangerous.
Yeah.
And can he continue to produce? So if you went Willie 4, Ivan 5, Arenado 6, I still think you're upping your chances of scoring without putting undue pressure on. Am I protecting him too much?
No, I don't think you're protecting him too much because Willie also goes to swing and hit the ball hard every single time. So he kind of just feels like a 4-hitter.
Yeah.
And that's no knock on Ivan because look at him. But Willie feels like a 4-hitter, doesn't he?
We're watching the emergence of a 4-hitter of Ivan. Is that what we're witnessing it? Like he may not be.
But this is the runway year. Let's just give him a little bit more runway for him.
I was just thinking too, typically you want your best hitter batting second
Yeah.
That's the idea. And Masyn Winn is batting second right now, which
might be.
Maybe. I don't know what to think about him right now, but maybe in the future you would see Ivan batting second.
Yes.
Right? Like Goldschmidt for years batted second because you want him to have as many at-bats as possible. Ivan may not have the thump because this is the first year, let's just step back and remember, he's ever shown this much power consistently.
Yeah.
He has been, I mean, that whole story about him taking Donnie's like half torpedo bat and he hit the 3 home runs in the game. We haven't seen him do that consistently ever. So this is a new aspect of his game that's really coming through. Willie, to your point, if you're looking for the thump, he's done it and he can do it. So I guess I don't hate that. But what I was going to say is you mentioned that if it was Willie 4, Ivan 5, Nolan 6, is our only truly like kind of negative hitter the 7th hole? I mean, other than Pages.
Walker,
but like, yeah.
Walker, well, Pages, yeah.
But like, think about that. That's like...
And if they got Pozo in there, it's really just Pages and Walker Gorman.
Pozo swings like a hatchet, doesn't he? He swings.
I love him so much.
I know. It's crazy to think about. But
yeah, the level of offensive production until we go south, until like Reddit was
until
saying,
it's not there.
Until it's not there and we're calling for people's blood again. You can't go wrong. It's just the 7 hole. Yeah, just don't put Nolan in the 7 hole because he won't show up ever again.
Let's swing it back around to Nolan real quick.
Yeah.
Is it too quote unquote disrespectful to him? Like, is this too early to? He's not bad. He's not a bad hitter.
No,
he's just not giving you what you need traditionally out of that spot to increase the efficiency of us scoring runs.
It's moments like this I don't envy Ollie's. Like if the manager and their team, if the guru is feeding this information, let's say hypothetically he is, when we're not saying he is, but hypothetically is, I don't envy. Because you're right. You got to think about that kind of stuff. You got to think about the chemistry inside the locker room. That man has feeling. Even think about go back to
the front office
day.
Kicked him around all
season. Think about what he said in that interview after that very first game of what it meant to get a curtain call after that homer. Like the man has feelings too. He's not just a robot. So if you disrespect him, then
you're hitting on something that I was going to say. Where this happened to Goldschmidt when he struggled. And Ollie pushed him down in the lineup. For a lot of last year, early on, he was batting like 6th or 7th until he figured it out. Now, Goldschmidt, by all accounts, is like the team guy. He's always been like the consummate pro, the guy that's going to do whatever you ask him. Where Arenado, there's a lot of documented history that he's a pretty emotional dude and wears it on his sleeve. And you could see at times in our years that we struggled, he looked pretty downtrodden. He looked pretty sad out there. So maybe this is Ollie, to your point. We've kicked you around like a dog in the offseason. Maybe we'll just sit you here and you've earned this respect from us to be here. Again, I wish I did. I'm glad I'm not making that decision because that sounds terrible to deal with. But yeah, I don't know that you're disrespecting him. I think you might just be feeding him with a little more confidence in what we've done to him.
This is probably not the time to actually do this because of this hot streak that we're riding. You probably don't do this now. You do it if we're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this for the front office and the ownership group. Busch Stadium is empty, and it's empty all the time. And we'll be there tomorrow night, and I guarantee you it's going to be empty again. And so if they want to bring the fans back, they've got to win. They're winning right now.
Yeah.
But getting Arenado out of the 4 hole and getting someone else in there with better production is going to increase their chances to winning. And to the Mo speak of like, oh, yes, we expect to be competitive this year. like if that's what we're trying to do, okay, then this is clearly a step you could take. Mm-hmm. It's just these other soft human factors. Does that overweigh the kind of hard analytical decision that every fan can see it? Especially right? You don't have to be blind.
Well, so let's go off and chase this sidebar rabbit that I saw, and it was thought-provoking. I think it was an ESPN or MLB.com article, and was like talking about the trade deadline, and they brought up whether or not the Cardinals indeed are we sellers or buyers at the trade deadline. And I was like, oh my gosh, talk about this already. I know we're talking about clickbait probably, but it's really hard to, we've lost one game in the last, 12?
5 months?
2 months.
Yeah. So, because they're still talking about, they brought up trading Hell's Bells, Sonny Gray, maybe like Nolan. It was just like, I don't know. I don't know. If we're riding this hot, why would we are not probably going to be sellers.
There's no way they will be. If they're 10, 12 games over 500 near that time, there's no shot. I would even venture to say if they're close to 500, they would be buyers. Because I think what they're going to look like, if no one has blown the Central out of the Cubs have it handily.
Yeah.
I think they're going to think they have a shot. And are they wrong for that?
Maybe they're right. No, maybe that's why they didn't do anything in the offseason.
Well,
maybe that's why they sat. Other than the very publicized Nolan situation, but everyone was really upset. Maybe they knew they had the guru in the bag, and the guru was going to do all this, and they had the attack dogs. Maybe they saw this.
If Chaim Bloom is making the decisions, then I'm okay with us being buyers or sellers. If Mo's making the decision, I don't want any part of that. I don't want Mo to do anything. I don't want him to have any say. This isn't at the trade deadline. It's Chaim's team franchise. Let him make the decisions. I still think we could be 10 games over 500, trade Nolan at the break, bring up Sajaci, and I'm not sure. I think that Sajaci is a worse hitter right now.
That's exactly what I was hoping you would bring that up. That's what I thought of too.
He's probably not as good of a defender,
sure,
but
he's got more slug. He's got more slug. I'll tell you that.
Based on what we saw of him this season, I would kind of agree with that. I thought about that. I was like, okay, so what if we just get some prospects or something for Nolan? Who do we? We're bringing up Sajaci. I didn't hate what I saw.
He's been excellent. He led the AA in home runs when the year we got him. He was the AA player of the year. He's been formidable in AAA. He's looked fine. Like you said, defensively, he would need a little more maybe seasoning up there because Nolan is still very good.
Yeah, he's rebounded on defense for sure.
He is. But yeah, to your point, I'm not sure offensively. I think you might see an uptick in what happens.
Let's go back then to the 4-hole thing. Is it Willie, Ivan, Sajaci?
Probably.
As the 6-hole?
That seems right. I wouldn't put him in the 4-hole for sure. But yeah, that seems right.
Yeah. Well, either way, it was nice. So let's talk about the other player. I was explaining a few things. For example, listener, did you know it is forbidden, prohibited item at Busch Stadium to bring a broom? And my wife was reading these to me because we're thinking about what kind of things we could bring to the game. And she looked at me and she laughed. She's like, that's really random. Why? So I had to go through and explain what a 3, 4, 5 game series was and why they would have a broom. And she's like, oh, okay.
People just love their Swiffers. Is there a problem with that?
I was like, but she still was like, why is that a problem if people brought a broom to I understand the sweep now. Yeah. But I was like, could you imagine, Taryn, if there were I don't know, 35,000 people there in attendance and a fourth of them brought brooms? There's 10,000 people out there being, Star Wars lightsaber boys.
That's an army out there.
I was like, and then they're drunken lightsaber wielders.
Shouts to episode 8.
Yeah. So, either way, I had to explain to her when Masyn Winn came up, I kind of used him as an example of the splits of what they're displaying, what statistics. I was like, but what you have to understand, this looks really MLB average of where he currently sits when you think about the season in its totality. I really like it when they bring up those splits for the average viewer of what's been happening recently. Because goodness gracious, let's talk about Masyn Winn for just a second. Johnny, you want to take us there first?
Yeah, I have some things in my head about comparisons between people, but I won't get to that yet. I just want to say, I don't believe any of us thought Masyn Winn, we would be having this conversation about his potential ceiling. I think we thought he would be a solid player. Defensively, he would be a plus defender. I don't know that we ever thought that he would offensively become what he is becoming in front of our eyes.
When he had the swagger saying that's it was a really bad look for him because before, while we were doing, the podcast in the summer, he was like, I want to be the face of the franchise, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, we need a capital G guy. We need to sell tickets. And then he came out at the beginning of the year and I was like, so yeah.
So yeah, like I said, he has made us, he's making us have this conversation right now because in some of the research I've been doing, he's mirroring some of these star shortstop careers. He is. And Matt, I see you over there. You're looking at some Fangraph stuff. Do you have anything to add to that?
What is the Masyn Winn ceiling? Guys, I think we should just stop for a second and talk about how high the ceiling is. This guy's on pace for a 6 WAR season right now.
I know.
Excellent defense, Gold Glove winning defense. The one thing, he's just not a very good base runner as far as steals go. He gets caught a lot. He's got negative base running value according to Fangraphs, but the offense is startling. He's walking double almost the clip that he's ever walked. He is striking out more, so he is selling out for some power. But I know that everybody who's watched the Cardinals this year, he's another guy that literally started the season like 0 for 22.
Well, exactly. So Fangraphs, that strikeout rate, is that showing the start of the season?
Yeah, of course.
Like 0 for 40.
But
with
even
like
with that,
strikeouts.
he's 270, 362, 443 for a 128 WRC plus. You talk about a shortstop that's elite Gold Glove winning defense, also hitting a 120, like 28% above average. I mean, Ozzie Smith never did that.
No.
I don't think the defense is as good as Ozzie Smith, but you're talking Masyn Winn ceiling's an MVP. Yeah. I mean, we need to see more of this offensive production like this, especially with the pop, although he did hit 15 home runs last year. But I will say this for him, even if you go back to the minor leagues, they would bring him up a level. He would struggle, adjust, and succeed. And we're seeing that again at the major league level. He's making adjustments and succeeding. He's a very malleable player. I think Masyn Winn, perennial all-star is too far because of the level of shortstops that are just around. But he's going to be in that conversation if he keeps doing this.
Is he 23?
Yeah.
So he's 23. Okay. So think about typically the prime age they talk about like in the NBA is like 27.
Right.
So we're talking 4 years until he's 27, and you already see flashes. Last year, he was our best hitter for 3/4 of the year. He was. I think he was like the second best hitter last year in all of Major League Baseball with 2 strikes. That's ridiculous for your rookie year. He kind of tailed off at the end, but that's to be expected. It's 162
long
games.
Game. Yeah, he's not a very big guy.
Not a big guy. And you saw some back issues early in the year, which is maybe a little something to be concerned about that young, right? But I was looking at some of these other shortstops who are perennial all-stars, landed big contracts. Gunnar Henderson, Francisco Lindor, Corey Seager, Willie Adames. We're talking about high contract.
You're giving me goosebumps over
I know.
here.
Bobby Witt. Okay, what has...
Oh, Bobby Witt.
I know. Bobby's got it. What do all those guys have in common? It's a high slug. These guys hit home runs. They have all landed massive contracts. And if Masyn Winn continues to do that, he is going to be a $200 million player. He's going to be. And I don't know what the Cardinals do if they try to get ahead of this a little bit, like the Jackson Churio route, where you try to sign him to like a 10-year, $100 million, and you just bet on him. And if he's terrible, it's like, well, it wasn't $200 million. But I'm telling you, when you I looked at Lindor and Bobby Witt's, specifically their Fangraphs page, at that age, and Mason's not far off. He is not far off, and he's a better defender than Lindor ever was. So you're saying he's projecting, what, a 6 WAR?
Yeah, right now.
The same age 23, Lindor was 5.1.
Wow.
So, and do I think he's going to be these names? I don't know. Like, we're having this conversation now. I don't know what
just the fact that you can bring up those names and it's not like, okay, stop. Right. You know, it's possible. The one thing he's never going to be is your 4-hitter, 40 home run guy. So we're not talking about like Alex Rodriguez at shortstop level of greatness. But I mean, I think he could be the capital G guy. I kind of do. And remember when we had this discussion earlier in the year, like when Willie was orbiting Uranus, basically from the 2-hole, right? Who was going to be our 2-hitter? Masyn Winn was not on my radar.
No.
And now Masyn Winn's in the 2-hole, and I'm like, you know what? This feels great.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel confident about this
podcast where I was like, you know, what stinks about the new is the fact that he's surrounded by Willie and Masyn, who are 2 automatic outs.
Yeah.
Think about how that's flipped. That script is flipped. So yeah, we have no crystal ball, but what a great thing to be able to even bring up and not be laughed at for comparing them. Like, it'd be laughable if we were like at the beginning of the season, if Mason's having. Could you imagine that? Like, you know, he struck out 18 times and, it's Francisco Lindor at 23, you know, what?
But his season last year was good.
It was.
You know, like a solid level of offensive production. And again, if he's going to keep growing at 23 years old, I mean, legitimately, the sky's the limit. Really.
So let me give just a quick side thing that I think of when I think of this conversation. What do we do with our number 1 top prospect in the minor leagues then? Which I would argue is JJ Wetherholt.
No, he is. Like, what positionally, is that what you mean?
Learn to play second base.
Yeah. I think it's going to be second base. I think that's just the answer. Is because
after we shoot Nolan Gorman to yeah. Like, I think Wetherholt can play second base or third base. I don't think he was ever supposed to be a shortstop. Okay. And you can't win as the shortstop barring injury. He's just it.
So that's why I wanted to clear up as a casual fan is like, okay, if Mason's ceiling, you're giving me some names that are really good players.
Yeah.
I just see this guy in this pipeline. I think of the current problem we have in our lineup with Nolan in there, with some kids that are ready to play in AAA. I was just like, what does that do for the future for the Cardinals' top prospect? And I'm sure that there'd be some minds to make him go somewhere else, but that's good to know.
By the way, I just think JJ Weatherholt right now is a flat out better hitter than Nolan Arenado.
So I think if JJ Weatherholt was in the major leagues right now, I think that his average would be low, but he would be faring okay.
Yeah,
I really do believe that, because when you watch a guy as young as him walk as much as he does, when you see people like Newt, we look at Newt and it's like his confidence level around the plate in the zone is just ridiculous. That's what Weatherholt is like too. And watching some of his game in AA, and then in the spring games, his average wasn't high, but he didn't look overmatched. These guys need to learn at this level, like we've been talking about with Masyn, how he struggled wherever he's gone, and then he continued to move up and get comfortable. If you can hit, if you're Weatherholt and you can hit, they will find a place for you.
Yeah,
they will. So I'm not worried about because Masyn has to play shortstop with that absolute bazooka he has on his arm, right? He's just going to play that. So I think we're okay.
I'm just interested to see when we talk about like championship windows. I think I'm going to cross sports real quick. The Oklahoma City Thunder are, at the time of this recording, they've got a Game 7 tonight against Jokic and the Nuggets, and they may lose, right? Because Jokic is the best player in the world. He really knows what he's doing. But the Thunder championship window, those guys are all like 23, 24, 25 years old. It's now. So look, Winn is popping. Donovan's good. Yeah. Nootbaar's good. Herrera may be turning into Pujol. Okay, I'm just going to stop doing that.
Whoa, no.
When is what if our championship window is like in 2 years? We keep thinking about this long runway, but now I'm trying to think like, my God, what if Winn is $200 million? Nootbaar's going to get expensive. Herrera could be prohibitively expensive. Like that makes me start to worry a little bit about we may have to hurry this up more than slow it down. And I was thinking the whole time, no, slow it down. It's going to be okay. But again, it's May and we're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. But like, our championship window may open a lot quicker than we think it is going to.
Well, and here's the thing that gives me a little bit of hope with that about like these big contracts having to come up and they butt up against each other, right? Is with Heim taking over, they're going to invest. And they've already invested in the minor leagues. But if you look at the top 10 or the top 100 prospects in baseball, 3 of the top 10 are owned by the Boston Red Sox, who were drafted by Heim Bloom. One of them's on their team right now. The other 2 are still in AAA, crushing it. Like Marcelo Mayer is the highest rated shortstop out there right now, and he's just sitting there. So if you have these contracts and let's say you got to let one of them go or something happens, but you supplement those players over the next few years with like legitimate picks and development, these guys come up and they're making the league minimum and they can continue to help contribute. So that's what makes me feel a little bit better just in general about this window, is it can be extended with these young players if we draft them in development like we should have been doing.
I don't mean for this to be recency bias because the Cardinal season has been all teddy bears and rainbows the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the optimistic take on this is it really is a real fast bounce back to levels of contention. And it has always been, we've talked about this the whole time we've had this podcast. It has always been about what these young players are going to do and how they're going to develop. And I think a couple of them are popping right in front of our eyes. I think we all were hoping it would be Jordan Walker, and I think there's still hope for that. But we need to not ignore the fact that Winn and Herrera, again, long season, blah, 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 blah. They're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And I think we have to give some credit to the coaching staff up at the major league level. I know we've talked about the guru, and we'll preach his praises and everything he's done.
We will worship at the shrine of the guru.
We just have to. But, Dusty Blake and what they've done with these pitchers and Kyle Leahy being who he is and just some of the confidence these guys have had to continue to go out and do this. Masyn Winn doesn't flourish under Tony La Russa, maybe not. La Russa liked these veteran type guys. I don't know that he would have gotten a shot, or God only knows Matheny, right? Winn may have never gotten a shot to play. It would have been Mark Grudzielanek out there at shortstop. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so give credit to Ali and these guys. They're working with what they have after everybody wrote us off in the offseason for no big pickups.
Yep.
They have come out and they have these dudes playing hard.
It's been a while since I felt this excited about players we have. I really do feel excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, props to them. You're right, Jonathan. I mean, I think in that, going back to that Reddit post, I think that's the side of the fence. There was very clearly 2 people who were still like anti-Ollie, and there was a pro-Ollie, like it was a clash inside the Reddit comment section. I think that I lean on the fence right now of at least giving tip of the hat to Ollie's. Thankfully, it's all Heim's decision, but like Ollie is putting forth a good showing for Heim of like what he's able to do. And if Heim thinks he's the best, let's just trust in our boy Heim, right? And Jonathan go shake his hand again. And
that's what has precipitated this whole thing is when I shook his hand. The butterfly effect for men. That's what's done.
Well, Ollie's been shoveling Mo's crap of the last 5 years. The deterioration of the minor leagues and the franchise as a whole, Ollie has to be the one to wear that and go out and talk to the media. And we've had a couple of bad years in a row here. Those aren't his decisions. And as far as we can tell, if these young guys keep developing, to me, he's making the right lineup decisions. He's making the right bullpen decisions. The young guys are developing. I know it's all rainbows and kitty cats right now, but I have zero problems with Ollie. I think he's doing well. I really do.
Well, we got another week this week that's going to test the Cardinals of what we're made of, because coming to town, the game that we get to watch against the MLB leading and wins, the Detroit Tigers. They're beating even the Dodgers right now, which I guess thankfully it's not the Twins, because I think the Twins are on a 13-game win streak right now.
We handled the Twins. We ain't scared of the Twins.
Yeah.
Followed by the Tiger series, we have another good team coming. It's going to be the Diamondbacks, but thankfully
you've already done some scouting on them.
Yeah, right. I did. I got some other players just yesterday. So what to watch for? Are we going to make a sign of any sorts for tomorrow? Is that what the listener can look for?
Wow. Maybe we should paint our chests and rip our shirts off.
Yeah.
Heim is blooming.
Yeah. Heim is blooming.
That would be good.
For?
That would be good.
Watch see if you can find us somewhere in the stadium.
Yeah. See if somebody goes on the field. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, this is going to be two tough ones. Yeah. I mean, this is a gauntlet. You go from Philly to Kansas City, back home for Detroit and the Diamondbacks. These are good teams.
Yep.
I would say buckle up, be scared, but we have played well lately against good teams. I don't know that I'm looking anything like specifically this week, just because everything I have been looking for, how does Graceffa look? He's looked pretty good the last couple games. Has Gorman made any more contact? No, he hasn't. Right. So I just want to see, can we continue to keep playing competitive games against these teams that they will be in the playoffs?
Yep.
They're going to be. So can we do it?
I'm looking for adjustments here this week. They're going to start pitching Ivan Herrera differently.
Yeah.
And can he continue to do damage with a different selection of pitches? Our pitchers, especially our young guys, the Liberators, the Polantes, can they keep being efficient? Can our old guys keep doing their smoke and mirrors kind of thing? Because I know this is going to shock everybody, but we are not going to win 90% of our games from the rest of the season all the way out.
Right.
So when the league catches up to you, can we adjust again, right? Like, can we make these things and continue to try to find success?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we'll see one of the Smith family run out in the field.
You just can never tell.
So take a look out for tomorrow night, or whenever you're listening, guys, for the Monday night game. See if you see one of us out there. But thanks for tuning into the Redbird Rundown, guys, your go-to source for St. Louis Cardinals news. Subscribe, rate, and review the show to help us grow. Follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Facebook for the latest news. Keep those rally types on, and let's go Cards.
Subscribe.
Rattlesnakes.